Now, since a lot of students are freshers, very briefly, we'll just take a quick overview about how the exam, goes about. And I won't go into super details because this is something that most of the aspirants, they do know. This exam journey is paced through 3 stages. The first stage is called as prelims, second stage is called as mains, and third is called as the personality test, और popularly जिसको हम कहते हैं interview. पहली जो स्टेज है प्रीलिम्स की, दिस इज लाइक द सीव, ये छन्नी है. दिस इज द सीव टू वीड आउट द इनसिंसियर एस्पिरेंट्स. इन दिस स्टेज द नेचर ऑफ द पेपर इज ऑब्जेक्टिव, which means you will have MCQ based questions. One question will be followed by 4 answers and you have to identify the correct answer and mark it or bubble the circle on the OMR sheet. Needless to say, along with it, you have negative marking also of 1/3. 2 papers are there. First paper is General Studies, which will have 100 questions for 2 marks each. For every right question, you get 2 marks, and for every wrong question, 1/3 of that 2 marks, okay, is deducted. Okay. A lot of students fear this. I mean, those of you who are fresh out of graduation and don't have any background of competitive exams, they do fear negative marking. But let me assure you, and as we go along, you'll gain that confidence also. Negative marking is an asset for us. For the sincere aspirant, negative marking is an enabler, because it weeds out the insincere ones. Because of negative markings, you will not see that somebody got in by fluke. Okay, anybody tries fluke, he will lose out, bleed marks and not get selected. Whereas for a sincere aspirant, this will always be helpful. Okay, how and all of that, those things we'll discuss when we reach prelims ka discussion. Second paper in it is CSAT. Popularly called as CSAT, UPSC does not use this word. General Studies paper 2 इसको कहा जाता है, but commonly aspirants called it Civil Services Aptitude Test. Broadly, mota speaking, this paper is about your English language competence, little bit about your arithmetic ability, ठीक है, little bit about your reasoning. So typically, if I have to explain it to you, it's like a scholarship paper that perhaps you might have tried out in your 10th, 12th stage, similar to that. Okay, very crude analogy, but just to make you understand. This paper will have 80 questions and each one with 2.5 marks. Again, 1/3 negative marking is applicable. ठीक है, तो ये क्या है, फर्स्ट स्टेज है इस एग्जाम का. इस स्टेज में you might have heard that lakhs of candidates apply, and often that deters a lot of wannabe aspirants कि लाखों में हमारा हो पाएगा क्या. ठीक है, so to assure you, those of you who are freshers, there is a difference between these 2 terms. One is applicant and second is aspirant. Applicant, yes, every year 9 to 10 lakh people maybe they apply for the exam. Okay? But if you ask me how many are serious out of that, how many are real competition for you, my guesstimate will be about 80,000 to 1 lakh. It's somewhere in that range, not more than that. Okay? And that too, all of them are not at same level. Okay, I'm just saying those people who are actually preparing in some form of dedication, those will be about 80,000. So can you see there's a huge gap between the applicants and actual aspirants? Does that reduce a little bit of pressure for you? Okay, हाँ, इसमें कुछ बन सकता है हमारा. ठीक है, okay. Now, out of these 9 to 10 lakh applicants, UPSC is going to shortlist for the next stage generally about 13 to 15,000 serious candidates for mains. Okay? How is this ratio basically arrived at? It is based on the vacancies that are declared for that particular year. Based on that, you get to the next stage. Generally about 13 to 15,000. In this range, you will have qualifications for next stage, that is mains. Okay. Now, what do we study in, or what do we have in main stage? Let's see that. Mains is the real test. Mains has in all वैसे 9 papers that you appear for. General Studies paper 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these are for 250 marks each. GS1 includes history, geography and society. GS2 has polity, governance, IR and vulnerable sections, paper 2. GS paper 3 is a motley mix, different things in that. You have economy, agriculture, science and tech, internal security, disaster management, yes, IPR and some other small topics also. That is GS paper 3. And GS paper 4, famous paper, ethics, integrity and aptitude. नीति शास्त्र जिसको हिंदी मराठी में कहा जाता है. GS paper 4 is an interesting paper which tries to assess whether you really have the values, qualities that are expected of a administrator. और इसका तरीका भी बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग होता है. It is just not a theory paper. It is based on case studies. We'll talk about these things in detail. Half of the paper will be based on situation. It just doesn't check your knowledge. It also sees whether you really would behave in an ethical manner when you are in a position to decide upon something. Okay? So, ये GS के 4 papers हैं. Then you have an essay paper, which is my expertise. I'll be, engaging essay discussions for you in the batch also. Essay paper is also for 250 marks and you are going to write 2 essays in the exam hall. 3 hours mein, you will be writing how many essays? 2 essays of about 1000 words each. 1000 words. अब तक आपने 12th या graduation में भी you might have written some essays, but typically those essays were 300-400 words, है ना? Now you are going to write 10-11 pages का essay and not 1 but 2 such essays. ठीक है? Moreover, the topics are going to be much more mature than what you had in your school and college time. So it's not about your friend's birthday party. Okay? It's going to be the agrarian crisis before India. It's going to be about women's empowerment, space related topic or some philosophical topic. Okay? So the kind of topic and also the depth that is expected is much more serious when it comes to UPSC essays. After this you have optional paper. Optional या जिसको हम मराठी में वैकल्पिक विषय बोलते हैं. We have to select 1 out of 28 subjects as our optional paper. Popularly history, geography, political science, anthropology, all of these humanities based subjects are very popular with optional subjects. We at UPSC Guide are going to offer all the popular optional subjects so that you can, pace your preparation of optionals with GS. Optionals में भी 2 पेपर होते हैं, 250 marks each. ठीक है? Apart from this, you have 2 language papers. One is English compulsory, and apart from that, you have to elect 1 paper from amongst our constitutionally recognized languages. Generally, people in our part go for Marathi or Hindi. This is basically your 10th level exam. It's not at all difficult to, fail in that. Marks are also not counted. You just have to pass. So out of 300, you have to just get passing marks. The marks will not be added over here. Okay? Whatever is added is here. This is 1750 marks worth of your mains. After all this hard work and labor, then you are called for the final stage, which is interview. A lot of candidates have more doubts about interview than any other stage. Especially in this social media driven world where you come to know about this exam through shorts and reels, it is quite natural for you to have that. But let me tell you that the interview stage is relatively a easy stage, because it's all about the kind of person that you are, the personality that you have. UPSC does not call it interview, it calls it personality test. Okay? Based on the grooming, the preparation that you have done during this journey, as well as throughout your life, your personality is assessed by a panel of very senior public officials, retired public officials, and you are marked based on the basis of that. Okay? Yes, it does have a very crucial role to play, but you can see it's for 275 marks. The huge bulk of marks are here in mains. Okay? So if you are very well prepared over here, then in that case, a little offbeat marks in the interview can be compensated for in mains. I don't want to say that this is not important. It is, but the real focus is at the mains stage. Okay? So clear, everyone?